Good morning, Ricardo, and thank you for coming on Sports Talk with C.
Good morning. How's everything?
Everything is great. Thanks for asking. How's your morning going?
It's going very well. Just got in some a little bit of workout, and I'm here. I'm home.
All righty. So tell me about who you are.
My name is Ricardo Lopez, born and raised in Perth Amboy, New Jersey. I used to work for Madison Square Garden for a long time. Then I, decided to actually leave because my mom got ill. But other than that, I do a basketball program that's actually free for the kids. It's called IAMBASKETBALL. So it's totally free. Everything is free. So what we do is 2 days a week we work out and basically just have a good time. That's it, pretty much.
Okay. And where did I Am Basketball come from?
So it started off in like 2016. It didn't have a name. It didn't have anything. It was just my daughter. I was training her.
Wow.
Yeah, she decided to play basketball. She was a swimmer, and she saw the Fab Five special, and she goes, "That's what I want to be." I was like, "You don't know how to play basketball." So I said, "Okay, we'll try it." I didn't think she was going to stick with it, and she stuck with it. And then we went to the Y, and a couple kids started seeing us practice, and they started coming, and it just I don't know, it just grew where every kid wanted to come on Saturday. My daughter created a chat room, and the kids were like, "Hey, can we show up?" And that was it. And my daughter was like, "We got to come up with a name," and we came up with a name and called. I was walking down the waterfront, and I was like, "What do you think about this?" To a couple of my friends, and said, "I am." I told them I am, because you could use I am for anything. I am, I am a leader. I am whatever, and it just came about, and it clicked. It was I am basketball training, and kids started saying, "Are you going to I am?" And it just stuck. And just now they shortened it to we're going to I am. So that's it.
Yeah, I read the piece that you had sent me, and what stuck out most to me was he stated that I am is a way to find your identity through sports and culture. So can you just comment on what does that mean to you from your standpoint?
Well, I mean, it's not your typical run training. So what we do, we have fun. We basically we go out, we have dinner, we have, after basketball, I take them out to get pizza. We're just congregating, talking to each other. At one point I used to say I love you, and kids were like, and I said, it's okay to say I love you. And it's just now the kids are like, I love you, and hugging each other. And it's just the culture of just being yourself. A lot of kids, some kids just show up just to hang around with the other kids, and the culture is basically, be who you want to be, become what you want to be, but you got to believe in what you want to be. And that's it, basically. I'm pretty tough when I'm out there. So they when they first met me, they were like, wow, this guy's like the word, I'm just going to give you a little slang. He's OD, but after a while, they understood my passion, because I took care of them. The culture is basically, come out, work hard, and try to help others, and that's it. Just basically, I don't let, they see me with Adidas, and they were like, oh, Adidas is not that good. And I said, this is what we wear. This is what I'm wearing, and when the game season starts, I buy all the kids that come to IM that I'm very close with a set of Adidas. And, it's just, there's no
I was reading about that too. And he was talking about how Adidas lasts longer. There's not. So I was going to ask, like, do you try to speak it into like the shoe is like basketball, you're in it for the long run. It's not like these the other name brands where after a year you can't even use them.
Yeah, so I call them check boxes. We don't want no check boxes in here. And I'll say the Adidas last longer. They're wider. Their footprint is better. And after a while, the kids will start, they'll start wearing them, and they start coming in. And I don't know. I'm not like I said. I love Adidas, and I love how the kids wear them, and they last much longer. That's all my daughter wears. She comes with a pair of Nikes. We throwing them outside. That's just we throw them outside. But it's just I try to imprint that, like what you like, regardless of what the forum is wearing. And be okay of wearing Adidas, or be okay with wearing ponies, just be okay wearing whatever you want to wear and who you want to be. And that's it. That's the stigma around it. That's it.
And where did your love of basketball come from?
So I started playing when I was a sophomore, and it's a funny story. I was terrible, and someone told me, "Come play. You're pretty tall." So I was like, "Okay." I played hard, and I remember back then, they used to have the names on the wall if you made it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was kind of like the last one. I walked in at like kind of like the end of the day, and I looked at the name and it said Ricardo Lopez, and I said to myself, "Is there another Ricardo Lopez?" I went to the coach and I said to him, "Coach, is there another Ricardo Lopez on the team?" He goes, "No, why? You made the team." He goes, I said, "But I suck." I went like that. He goes, he says, "What I like about you," he said, "You threw yourself on the floor. You were rebounding. You were passionate. Even though you didn't know the game, you worked hard." And he
Mm-hmm.
said, "You can't teach that." And that's where it started. I started getting better, and each year I got better. And then when I went to JUCO, I got much better. I was ranked player, and then I walked on to a school in Eastern Kentucky, and then
Mm-hmm.
I try to teach the kids that hard work. Hard work beats everything, and the only thing you can't control the outcome, but you can control what you put into something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I try to tell them. You could shoot 1,000 shots a day, and you may not make a lot of shots during the game, but there will be no reservation saying I didn't put my effort. It just wasn't your day, and you can just move on from that. And you can't control the outcome in anything. I always tell them. That's the proponent. That's the number one thing I say. Outcome you can't control.
That's
So
a fact.
that was the love of basketball. I still have that love. I still play with them. I still talk junk to them, and check out this old 40-old, 50-old guy talking junk to us. But it's just, I don't know. I just love it. I don't know what it is. It's just
It's basketball. We love
yeah,
it. So
I'm sure you understand. It's just something about it,
mm-hmm.
So,
It grasps your soul at
yeah,
some point.
that's exactly us. Yeah.
On any stage, it just grabs your soul. So what does it mean to you to be a mentor, coach, and a trainer? Like when someone asks you, what do you say?
I, I don't think myself as a trainer or anything. I'm more like a mentor. I try to teach them what my failures were, my success were. I try to say stick with the basics first to learn, because a lot of kids want to learn the whole, the Euro, this, that. And I said, the basics first. Learn how to make a
learn how to dribble, a layup.
Yeah. Learn how to
foul
pass.
shot.
Exactly, and all those things. So I mean, it means a lot to me when I hear kids calling me at night, asking me for advice. When a kid says, "Can you stay after? What do you think my best attributes are?" And I tell them, and I speak about, when I speak to them in that way, I say, "Look, Division I, Division III, NIA, whatever division it is, if you get a chance to play, it doesn't matter." And that's, I feel like I'm a mentor or father figure in a sense. I do train a lot, but I mean, besides that, I get really close with the kids, and I try to figure out what they want to do in life. And sometimes I'll tell them, college may not be the route. Go to trade school.
Mm-hmm.
So I give them the real deal. I'm not going to candy coat it. And a lot of kids will say I'm D1, and I say, well, I'm not taking that dream away, but you got to figure out if you're a D1 player in the sense that you really got to go to these schools and visit, see what they go through. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get a lot of time for social.
You
you only see the glimpse of the highlights. Wow, but you don't see what goes behind the scenes. So.
And I like that you said that about Division I, NIA, Division III. It doesn't matter, because the episode that drops later, he was stating kids get hung up on Division I, Division I, Division I, Division I, and in that they lose their passion for
Exactly.
the game of basketball in itself.
Exactly. And just to jump on that, I always tell them, there's a lot of Division III players that went to NBA. There's a lot of Division IIIs that go Europe. It doesn't matter. It's you have the passion and you're very good at it. It doesn't matter.
Even if you don't, like, look at Brady. He was picked when he went.
Yeah, exactly. And and that one kid who plays in Miami, what's his name? That went to Michigan. I forget his name. He went to Division III, and then he actually.
I've recently found out about that too. I was like, oh wow, it makes it good for our kids to know that you could still, no matter, don't let the name of the school fool you.
Yeah.
Like I interviewed my cousin. She's a Division I basketball player, and I
God bless
interviewed her mom about what the work that it takes to even become a Division I candidate. And it's like, you forget to be human. You forget to know that it's okay to have a social life and still be all about basketball. But
Absolutely. Be a kid. I mean, we forget about that, to be a kid. And I tell my daughter all that, like, right now she's got some interest in colleges, and I tell her, pick a day, 2 days to be a kid. Forget about basketball. And because those pockets of life, they're gone. They're gone. And so I say, be okay with going to dances, be okay with it. And it doesn't have to be all basketball every day. And so we she schedules herself around that. And I tell kids all the time, you got to be a kid. Those pockets of life do not come back. And
they don't. And I try to tell people, always follow your dreams, because I'm now going to be 34 and I'm coming back to school after 10 years to do something I love. So anything is possible.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
How do you stress to the kids that incorporating just training, conditioning is important to their game?
Oh, that's every day. We talk about being in shape. We talk about mental. So I always give the example. If I gave you a brand new car and you looked at it, would you want to drive it? She'll go, absolutely. I said, if you open the hood and no engine, could you drive it? No. You may look the part, but if this engine ain't right, you can't drive it anywhere. So I condition them every day. You have to be in shape, number one, to beat out people. All the training has to be a little bit of less training, but more pickup, more game. So you get that IQ, incorporate all your stuff. And a lot of kids get lost into the training. And I say, you do your training like anything else, but you
might outlast someone in that 10 seconds of that game.
Yeah, exactly. So I say you got to play more pickup. You got to play one-on-one full court. And so I have a thing. We go play one-on-one to 31.
Okay.
And if you make the foul shot, we keep on going. If you miss the foul shot, you go back down to 0. So you can have a kid going playing to 90, and he'd be like, "Dad, coach, I said foul shot is it's a free shot. That's you got to learn that." So conditioning is huge where I play. It's huge, huge, huge. I tell them you could outbeat a player who's talented if you can run up and down the court and without any hesitation. So
I feel like that's the hardest to guard in a basketball game, when someone is sprinting back and forth. They just made a layup, but they're already back on the defensive end already.
Look at Westbrook. Look at that guy. That guy's a machine. And I tell you, if you want to be in shape or play like a player that doesn't care, look at Westbrook. There's nothing fancy about him. He just does what he has to do. And you're right. If you're in shape, you could beat a lot of players. And you could, my coach would always say, you got to find something that you're good at. You might be a shooter, and if you don't have many traits, be the best conditioned player to be on that court, to give somebody pressure or do something. So,
like Coach Carter, he made them run. But...
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I never understood that until I really seen that movie, because I'm not a basketball player. So when I seen that movie, I'm like, why are you always making them run? Like, the other team was exhausted.
You could beat a team mentally exhausted. And once they're mentally exhausted, it's over. So you're right. You're right about that.
How do you keep your players motivated? Some players have a big game. They don't play well. They're mentally beating themselves up, physically beating themselves up. What do you say to them to just get them back in the right state of mind, or get them back to it's basketball?
So every time we practice or anything, we do something, I would always say, you have to be motivated regardless of the score. So I would always say, if I'm a college coach, I'm not looking at the score. I'm not looking at all the good things that you do. I'm looking at all the things that don't go right. Am I going to be that babysitter? Do I have to be mentally drained and getting you to where you want to be when things go wrong? So I say to them, you always got to be in a point where your emotions can't be based on the outcome. It should be just based on the effort. And that's it. Because, I tell them, you go to work, you have a bad day, you give that bad attitude, you're fired. I say, you're done. So you basically, we understand you're going to have a bad game. We understand that things are not going to go right. But what we love to see is a person like, wow, he's having a bad game, but this guy's all over the place. He's hustling. And that's what a coach wants. We all know you can shoot. We all know you could dribble. We all know you could do this. And if you're having a good day, yeah, we know you're going to be happy. But I want to see the player when things are not going right. How is he going to attack this? And if he does that well, I'm saying to myself as a coach, wow, I can imagine when things go right. And so
Right.
that's what I tell them all the time. I say, you can't control the outcome, guys, but you can control your emotion. And number one, and number two is you don't know who's watching. Could be a guy looking at another player and be like, look at that guy. That's what I need. I need a defensive player. Could be the best practice player. Could be what, hey, use the vehicle you have. I always tell them to get what you want to be. And it's sometimes it's hard because at that age, you look at Instagram, they only look at the clips, but they don't look at the whole game. And so it's kind of hard. But I always tell them the attitude and the effort has to be the same when it's bad or good. I shouldn't be, I shouldn't be dictating. You should.
Mm-hmm.
And so, they believe it. And once in a while, I give a little screaming here and there and they say, thanks, coach, and I'll talk to them at the end of the game, or I'll talk to them after practice or whatever it may be. But they're kids, right? We all want to do well, and we're seasoned. So we understand that,
How is important to mentor our youth now? Because, back in the day, that wasn't really a as the figure or even happening. So how is
Yeah.
it important to mentor our youth to become better basketball players in the future?
It's very important. I think, in my opinion, they're a little softer. That's just my opinion. When I was growing up, we had our mentors were the adults that were in the streets, the basketball players that we played with were older, and so they taught us to be tough. If you didn't play any defense, you weren't picked up. And so, you can go to a park and my mentors were the old, we used to call them the OGs that used to play basketball, and then you get roughed up and they was to get up, and there was no coddling. And now with this generation, there's the social media, everybody wants to be great, everybody wants to. So I think it's a lot more easier for me to do it because I understand. And it's very important to understand that everybody's background is different. I can't scream at a player and get the same effect as another player. So I got to figure that out. My mother used to say, I love you all the same, but I got to treat you differently to get the same effect. And so the mentor sometimes is the coddling. The mentor is maybe getting on top of them. The mentor is maybe throwing them out the gym, but they understand that, kids can see the bull right away. Kids can see that if you care about them, they're going to be there. But to answer your question, I think mentorship nowadays it's huge. It's huge because, we see a lot of things in other kids and us. And, just, I don't know. I just love being around the kids. It's just, that's natural to me. Because, of my circumstances. So that's it pretty much. It's very important.
Where do you want to see, or what do you want to see IAM in the next 5 years?
Oh, I would have wanted my own facilities. I would love to have another individual helping me. I would like to be a place where kids can show up, congregate. You got soccer, you got basketball, and you got baseball. You got all these facilities where the kids can come. It's not going to be just all basketball, because there's other kids that need mentoring. And a lot of other sports gets dropped because you may not have the facilities or may not have the time to actually do that. But I would love to be a place where kids can go, and kids can go there and do homework or do whatever the case may be. I mean, because a lot of times you can lose a kid on the streets, but you can gain a kid if they come and they hang out. And I see a lot of kids. I may have one day like 50 kids, and like 10 of them will be hanging on the side, another 5 just on their phones, and then the rest are playing basketball and training. So it's, that's where I wanted to see where the sponsorships, the getting them into college, like a hub where the kids say, hey, I want to go to college. Okay, let me see if I have some college connections where I can just say, hey, look, this is, we could take a tour somewhere. That's my dream. I always say I always wanted to be a school. It would be nice to have a school. Where
really dope.
Yeah. So I tell my daughter all the time, if I could retire, I could be in the gym all day. To tell you the truth, I could be in the gym all day, like, listening to kids, laughing at the kids, listening to them, helping them out. So right now we got a couple kids that could go pretty far. And right now I'm building templates for them, email templates, but they have to do their part. I can't do it all.
That's right.
Get the good grades, they got to get SATs and, see, they always say thank you to me, but I always do the easy part. The kids are doing the hard part. They're coming in, they're putting in the work. I do the easy part.
But I think thank you is more of just being there, pushing me to do it, because, you know, a lot of kids, when they're nice and, you know, have that talent, that's what everyone sees first. They don't see the hard work behind it. So when you finally get someone that sees your hard work that you put into it, it's like, yo, thank you, that I'm not just another statistic to you or another number to get me to somewhere. So that's dope, and continue to do great things for our youth. I love seeing when you post videos of the kids working out, you training them. So continue with IAM.
I appreciate that.
It's dope seeing it. And I want to know, where can I get a shirt? Because I love that, your logo
Oh,
thing.
yeah, I
That's
can
dope.
get you a shirt. I can
Yes,
get you a sweater.
okay, cool. You got
DM me
orange
the
in there. Orange is
size.
my favorite color.
No, DM me the size. I can get you. I'll get you the hoodie. You
Yes,
know.
I like it.
So yeah, that's I don't know. I have one that I have a logo. It has a girl with a ponytail.
Oh,
You know,
nice.
stuff coming out. But yeah, I mean, maybe if you ever get a chance, come down. You know, if
Yeah,
come watch it. You know, come watch it.
I would love to.
And there's other, you know, there's other parts to it. You know, whatever. I'm glad you like it. You know,
I do. I like that. I like it. I really do. It's a nice logo. And if someone wanted to know more about IAM, where do they look?
So it would be IAM basketball training on IG.
Okay.
Pretty much that, and just hit me up, and whatever they need. If they want to find out more stuff, just hit me up. Pretty much.
All righty, Ricardo. Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to come on Sports Talk with C.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. C's out.